Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. I like doing that. It just breaks up the monotony a little bit, trying to come up with with an open, if you will. I don't really have music per se, but again, this is what the beginnings of a podcast look like, even though we're about probably 50, 60 episodes in, maybe 40 to 60 episodes in, right? Welcome into another episode. Good morning to y'all. Welcome to another episode of A Different View. Ladies and gentlemen, this one today, which may or may not get people's attention, we'll see, is on the X-Men. Your boy finally got through the old X-Men cartoon. Very emotional ending to that. You know what they pick up on in the next one. And we're going to get into some heavy topics today, ladies and gentlemen. This won't be for the faint of heart. Normally isn't, though. Some of these are what we see the reaction, different people listening to different ones. And again, share this, y'all. I understand it's hard for people to hear. Get the word out there to folks. Right? We're not looking for subscriptions and stuff like that. We're not on that level. That's not what this is about. Okay. Again, a person is due from a person is don't let see again. We talked about that seed of the scornful thing that is talked about in the Bible. Don't allow in your mind to always. I use that as a because see many of the things that we hear. The reason I reference so many Bible verses, ladies and gentlemen, not only just because I'm Christian, not only because I'm seeing the light and the truth of what is in these verses, opposite of what has always been taught us. These verses. We're gonna get into another one today. This is actually a big one. This is a big one because it's been talked about in church so much that we made things spooky. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to be careful about how spooky we make a thing. Okay. Yeah, there's this reality. Yeah, there's other realities to come. Yeah, there isn't. And again, we talked about it during Halloween, right? Okay. Honoring the dead, spirits, the afterlife, all that kind of thing. We understand that, okay? But we have made the thing too spooky. See, again, do not think of yourself or things more highly than they ought to be thought on. Don't put too much energy. You should put a lot of energy, but don't put more than should be. Which is why sometimes when folks get on subjects and stuff like that, you got to walk away from a thing. There's no need to be getting angry. See, again, we're talking about the things that profit you. Does it profit your soul? While we're on that subject, I want to bring to light a certain thought process here, which is the word emotional. Which we're going to just study emotion, because that's where you get the word emotional from, right? Because again, people do not know themselves as a people. Shout out one time to May, right? Women's Health Month, Arthritis Awareness Month, Mental Health Month. We're about 10 days away from the end of the month, ladies and gentlemen, when everybody all of a sudden starts thinking that it's summertime. Again, it is not summertime. It is still spring. It is late spring, right? Spring started in March. Here we are in May. But it is still spring. It is the beginning of life growing from what was dead in winter onto what you will see, which will become full bloom and warm weather and all that kind of thing here on this part of the equator, as we say, right? The northern hemisphere. We have to come to certain conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. So, emotion, a natural, instinctive state of mind, deriving, so pause, because it's split into two. The definition is split in two here. One, it is a natural, instinctive state of the mind. Secondly, it derives from one's circumstances, one's mood, or relationships with others. When a gotta say it. Instinctive or intuitive feeling as distinguished from what you reason. We'll get into the word reason on the back end. We like to save little things here because, again, we know you are only speaking from that which you've been spoken to about. People aren't really diving deep into a thing. And for as far as you've jumped into the pool, there are levels to this type of pool, ladies and gentlemen. Life's pool is not, oh, yeah, I'm here. I read 17 books and we're good. No, you only scratch the surface, as the phrase goes, from reasoning or knowledge. So instinctive or intuitive feeling as distinguished from what you reason about or what you know. That's your emotion. People put it in different places, whether it's part of the soul, not part of the soul. That's your emotions. So when people come off and tell you to stop being too emotional, you got to take that phrase into two types. One, have you gone too far on a topic? Because anyone can. I will say it again. Normally the people who tell you this have gone too far on the thing. That's why they're telling you to not be too emotional. Like they tell you not to be too black. You're you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're you, right? And for as much as I speak on ladies and gentlemen, we're also a family here. We're the human race, folks. We're humans. Some of us have let that go, and they've turned into dictators and conquerors. But we're humans. We're on one team. We all we got, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody coming from the sky to save you. Saying, unfortunately, because of misteaching from the church. This is why you hear me talk a lot about this, because we got to get certain things squared away here. And it's not just the Christian church. Many different beliefs have had this, although, I must say, although the head leader of this thing, just like we talk about the misused peoples on this planet, so like those who they call pygmy, which again, just different skin tones of the darker races on this planet, right? We just sat there and we called them pygmies. Could have said black folks. We said dark. With the bone through the nose and all that, right? That we find on the islands, the black folk, right? But we got to make distinctions, which we should. Which you should have done for black folks, that were living on these lands that we just said, Color don't take no imagination, guys. You call anybody colored. But could you call them by the tribe that you won't recognize? Could you do that? The languages that have been erased from the planet because you don't want to speak them. And then you turn around in your piosity and say, hey, these immigrants coming over here need to learn the English language. No, we all live on a planet, ladies and gentlemen. How about the English-speaking people need to learn other languages? Because, again, when you talk about English, you're speaking the language of your captor. Again, you're not from America. You were the descendants of immigrants and migrants who came to the Americas, aka North America, and formulated the United States, of which we are going to wave said flag so proudly next week and next weekend. But yet we have forgotten where we've come from, and we will get into memory and remembrance. We are not doing things in certain remembrances of those who were lost, ladies and gentlemen, who stood up for right and wrong. Emotion, the natural instinctive state of mind. Speaking on remembering something, here is this verse. Ephesians chapter 6. Primarily, we're going to go all the way down to 12, but I just want to read through a few of them because, again, we've gone too far and we have missed certain points, and we also skip over certain points purposefully. Because we are not moved with compassion. That's an emotion, isn't it? Now, I know y'all are going to, no, it's not really. It's an emotion. Again, it is, let's see, put the definition in when you speak on something naturally and instinctive from the inside of you. Jesus looked upon the crowd and was moved with compassion. See, you got too heavenly minded that you are now no earthly good. You are not of the planet. This is speaking to my Christian brothers and sisters. This is why I have respect for other beliefs of the world, by the way. The peace and the keeping of the planet that is spoken in Confucius, in the teachings of Confucius, the things that are talked about with Buddha. How you must walk the path of enlightenment. That's not non-Christian. Respect to the Buddhist belief. But that is just about as ancient of a thought process that you can get. There is a path. See, again, the way it's spoken about in the Bible is the broad and narrow path. Lots of folks are walking that broad path. Not too many walking that narrow one, though. Like we have talked about down in the Black woman on this podcast. And that goes for women in general. To my brothers, how are you supposed to be able to live around the woman you're making fun of all the time? To the rest of the cultures, how do you live around the See, we got to take a note from our Asian brothers and sisters, which I do not shout out enough. And since this month is still about Pacific, specifically, we are talking about Pacific Island folks. Next month's going to get even better because it's about the Caribbean, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. See, we do not give proper credit because we let go of certain emotions that you need. You put down certain things. The way the Bible said it is the love of the body of people waxed cold. Turn up the flame, ladies and gentlemen. See, so the stuff in your mind you keep rejecting, stop doing it. These people have a place at the table. The islander has a place at the table. They're not weird. They're not third world. They have a place at the table. Maybe instead of keep calling them something, you go out and you help them and fund them and get them to where they need to be. Become a fisher of men. Yeah, I know what y'all are going to say. No, that's spiritually speaking, KJ. No, it's not. Jesus using a natural analogy. Start fishing for men. Okay, do you mean we're supposed to get a line and a pole with a hook? See, again, the seat of the scornful, man. It's quite evident. It's quite evident what's going on in the mind, y'all. It's coming out in your language. It's coming out in your words where your mind is at. Making fun of folks, guys. We sit there and we hire folks, and you see these people come up and you shop every day with these folks and you do all this type of stuff. Then you turn around, you make fun of them, but their money is good for you though. See, we don't respect enough. It's time to be more respectful. To my Christian brothers and sisters, y'all love Jesus so much. It's time to be respectful. God didn't go around making fun of nobody. Jesus didn't go around making fun of nobody. You say Jesus is the Son of God, don't you? Related to God, right? God in the flesh, right? He didn't go around making fun of nobody. Do you see it? Do you see it anywhere? The only people Jesus ever had beef with were the supposed of his own, who were fake. They were cap. They were full of it. You need emotion. We let go some emotion that we need properly. This thing that we've been seeing lately, as compared to, I was just looking at it, dealing with the idea of truth and the idea of fact. But because we don't look at the definition of words and phrases, we are missing it, and we are looking at what someone else told us. And we're not looking at what we need to. So, I'm going to pause 1 second, and we're going to talk on truth, and we're going to talk on fact, and then we're going to go on to the rest of this thing, because the X-Men, y'all, wow. Again, I will reference, under the climate that is this society for a long time, I still don't know how they're getting away with that comic. Shout out to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Marvel Comics for coming out with such a powerful comic that talks about life right down to the bare bones where people come from. Y'all have a problem being respectful to those opposite of you. You have a problem. You have got to be touched with compassion again, and it will never be a problem. You'll be able to respect those that have different earrings than you, right? That have certain things going through their nose, that dress a certain way, or don't even have on clothes. Where are my good Samaritans at? See, but you got to deal with Samaria first. See, you got to deal with who is a Samaritan first. And the disdain those people had around their own people. See, only somebody who has been rejected. See, again, the cornerstone. We talked about this on a different podcast, y'all. This verse in the Bible. Those who are the cornerstones. See, because you sit in the seat that is always discrediting someone, you are forgetting that which is usable in this life, that brings life to this life. And we all have it in capacity, in different ways. We all got gifts, y'all. We all got abilities. That's what the X-Men comic deals with, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I rep Wolverine so. Y'all can't deal with the outcasts, man. But Christ, though. Christ does. Christ leaves the 99. You talking about the good shepherd. See, we ain't got no pastors today, man. I got to say. We ain't got no. Y'all got a lot of money grabbers today. You ain't got no pastors. If true religion in the book of James, that's why we can't talk about the Apocrypha. So we'll talk about the books that, quote unquote, are recognized. See, it's about getting deeper now, ladies and gentlemen. We've been superficial. Same thing dealing with finance. Just talking on this topic for a little bit. Little things we're going to hop back and forth, guys. I hope you got your hopping shoes on. Hope you got your mental hopping shoes on. We can sit there and talk about finance all day long and giving into the church and stuff. When does it give back to the people? Hold on now. See this ain't got nothing to do with when do we give back to the people? They're giving to you. When do you get back to them? Just in the messages? What about the physical? Because they're giving you physical money. When do you get back? Never mind. Never mind. Folks ain't ready yet. But again, life has a way of bringing you right to your knees. No different than Saul killing Jews and having that story, whether y'all believe it to be true or not, where a bright light knocked you off your horse to cause you to be moved with compassion on people. And it'll change your life. The state or quality of being true, okay? That's a little, this is truth's definition now. That which is true in accordance with fact. Whoa. Yo. No, see, KJ, because the definition, see the definition of the word and your people mess with. See, people just have a problem accepting the truth, the fact of the nature of a person. But you know who don't? The grand fashioner and designer of this thing, God alone, the one we calling God. Don't give you you don't get a pass. You don't get a pass. Hey, so see, there's a thing out here that talks about the nature of people, right? So a rabbit, you can trust to always do rabbit stuff. A moose, you can always trust to do moose-like stuff. A squirrel, a duck, geese or goose, so on and so forth. The rhino going to do rhino stuff. And yet they all function inside the animal kingdom. I'm not talking about the predator part because I know that's where people like to go. This is where you like to go. We just on that bloodshed. You got to always question yourself, where is all that bloodshed mess coming from? That's only one part of the game. Where's the rest of it? The rainbow is not just made of yellow, y'all. Never mind. Anyway, so you got to think of this in this standpoint. Just because white people always been conquering everything, don't mean y'all don't get judged for doing right toward people. Just because black people always keep chasing pleasure a lot. Please listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Take off the defense and just listen for 1 second. Because black folks chase pleasure so much does not mean that's what you do. History shows there's a different thing you do. Again, this is a record of what we do, y'all. That's why don't let them take history from you. We need to study and know every little bit. So it's as a guide to where to go in life. And so on and so forth throughout every culture. No, we can do better, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point. That's the point. The fact of the matter is that the truth of a thing will lead you to what is the nature of a thing so that you can do things in fairness and in love and in order. And I will repeat it again because it was so impactful to me the last time I said it. I'll say it again. The truth is in the youth, y'all. The proof is in the youth. These kids ain't playing around no more, man. When you watch this thing, X-Men, man, it's cool to see Jubilee. It's cool to see that they brought in Sunspot. Y'all, the youth. They are the balance to the old. See, y'all ain't getting it. But what is in the Willie Lynch letter what is in the Bible as well to let you know what's coming. The fight. Watch out for the fight between the old and the young and the young and the old. Because it is a way to hurt you, not help you. And we walk right past it, seeking after some stupid mess we heard from someone else. It's time to stop, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to stop. We're only hurting ourselves. This is what truth is, by the way. This is the definition of truth. A fact or belief that is accepted as true. So let's say it on both terms. Truth and fact can be twisted. I say it on this podcast as holy notions, like defense, like memory, which is why next weekend everybody gonna be waving the flag of the captor instead of looking at the purpose for the day, which is to remember those who died during the Civil War firstly, which we'll get into it next week. And secondly, every one of these sick wars to support the greed, not the defense of life, the greed of humans taking from someone else and the inability of people to see it. That's what this is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I will re-reference again. There is no need for the Revolutionary War if Europe had kept their own nose over in Europe. Instead of trying to take from Africa, instead of trying to take from North America, instead of trying to take from South America. This is the problem. Using Catholicism to do it. You sent the Catholic over in Africa. Missionary. This is the spirit. This is the emotion in which Jesus spoke to the Pharisee and the Sadducee. No, y'all still stuck on homosexuality and transgender. You know why? Because it's easy to talk about somebody different. But y'all won't have the banners. Y'all won't have the poster boards. Y'all won't have them in front of the retail store. I'm calling you out. See, again, this is what the Bible is about, y'all. Come out from among them and be ye separate. Can you walk on the water? Jesus is there to help you walk on it. The one that has went before. I don't even know. I don't even know. Let me pause. In this cartoon, can we just here's a thought that comes out, man, because again, friends of humanity. What a farce, man. If you friend to humanity, you will allow both. This is the same kind of idea in the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, that movie that my wife and I watched. The whole purpose of Caesar was not only just for his own people. I was remiss in saying that last time I talked about it. It was also to bring together humans and apes. You know, the ones who made the disease that eventually wound up making them dumber. Turn them into the ape that they so disdain. Because you could shoot Harambe in that zoo. Don't never mind your kids operating right in the zoo. No, we ain't going to talk about that part of it. No, you just shoot the ape down. See, we got no respect anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And we afraid to talk about it. Yeah, no one's going to talk about the fact of how you're supposed to be in the zoo. Like you think an animal is going to have that level of respect for you. You don't already captured it, took it away from where it is. And I know all the dance, everybody talking. I see, again, we done already heard it, y'all. Come up with something new. What are we doing? What are we doing? Fact. Let's get into the word fact here a little bit. A thing that is known to be, see, why are we dividing? Watch how division, watch how massa got you dividing stuff here. Fact, a thing, this is a noun now, a thing. I'm not even getting the etymology of the words, because it only gets worse from there, right? A thing that is known or proved to be true. Proved to have truth. Interesting. Information used as evidence or part of a report or news article. That one can get a little lost because, again, unfortunately, you've got greedy, bigoted people in news, in media, as we call it, and in various medium. As law, as a noun, the word fact describing it in the world of law, the truth about events as opposed to interpretation. Now, here's where you get down to the meat of when people say that fact can be twisted and the truth is real. You are speaking according to the rulers of this world. So let's get into that verse real quick. See, again, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking according to what Master telling you to say. You're not, we are not off of that which is holy and true speaking. We are speaking speech that has been inputted into what is holy and true from what Master wants you to think, so they can keep using you as a tool of destruction, whereby they can take from somebody else that's innocent in this mess. But I digress. So the truth about events as opposed to interpretation, which is interesting, by the way, because again, everybody keeps saying that scripture's inspired. The words that came from the grand designer have been twisted in a weird game of telephone that happens with humans because people screw up, y'all. And it's okay. It's okay. So we missed it. It's time to fix it. And that's where most people have the problem. They don't want to fix it. They think this is the real. Ephesians 6. Let's see how far we are here. 29 minutes. We'll keep y'all maybe about 5 minutes more. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Yeah, it is. Hold on now. Hold on now. Because Lord, the amount of messages pastors and preachers have wasted their time doing this. Why are you so one-sided? Again, take a cue from your Asian brothers and sisters, man, and preach the whole of the... Anyway, balance. The balance has been thrown off. Y'all have heard me reference this because that's what it is. Balance is off, man. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise. Okay? That it be well with you and that you may live long on the earth. Okay? Verse 4. See, again, we're talking context. People don't want to deal with that. See, folks in power just don't want to, they don't want to deal with the fact they got to be submissive. No, they don't. They telling you, but they don't. They don't. See, again, no different than in government. They got to make it look like they care about you. This is what's so dangerous when you start seeing ism be put on the ends of words, because it's turned then from that which is most holy and true to an event where you can take from someone, twist it, and manipulate it. Ye fathers, provoke not your children of wrath. So men can't be compassionate. The masculine can't. I know. I'm a man. Oh, okay. So, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. You know anything about nurture? Y'all know anything about nurture? Let's take a second here just to talk about that word nurture. See, I said we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it comes Father's Day, and we will re-reference this on Father's Day. But it's time. It is time. It's time to speak on it, man, because, again, y'all not getting it. And you must be put in remembrance of. So, a verb meaning to care for, man. The men are supposed to care for something? No. See, I just go out. I go out all day long. No, see, because when you provide for something, you care it. Oh, that's the only way you can care for somebody? The only way you can care for someone is when you provide something physical for them. So just the money, that's it? And see, y'all keep thinking it's necessary for the men to be out working. How in the world are you caring and protecting for your kids at home when they come home from school and they got something to say? You don't have to be out there that long for that. See, again, you are listening to massa. They want you out there that long. Because when you ain't home talking to them constantly, which is what the Bible talks about, talking to them in the way, talking to them wherever they are. Yeah, I know we forgot. You got to be put in remembrance of. A lot of this is bleeding over in the, next week, but that's all right, man. That's all right. There's more to speak. Truth is always expounding and growing, man. We're just catching on to it. There's the difference. And encourage, man. What? Encourage? Care for? Nurture? This couldn't be masculine. That's got to be feminine, ain't it? Now you do it in your own way. Yes, you do it in your own way. But that don't make you feminine. That makes you as masculine as can be. Again, this is why I encourage homosexual people. Y'all learn to protect yourselves. It don't matter whether you're having sex with a man or not. Let somebody disrespect you and come up on you and you protect yourself. They won't be talking to you no more. They may take the violence up a level, what normally happens with people when they are dumb in their mind. Encourage the growth or development of. You're supposed to be involved in the development of your kid. Never mind. Y'all just keep working them 72-hour jobs, see where it gets you. 72 an hour job, you go for it. Not $72 an hour job. No, you just keep working them 72-hour job. You'll keep going. Because clearly it's working, right? It's working. And then y'all complain about why the family element is broken because y'all ain't home. Y'all haven't gotten what's necessary on the inside, and this affects us all, by the way. Me, everybody. You're not home. You can't see what's going on because you're not home. Then what you do is come down on them once you get home. Man, that makes for some poor Sherlock Holmeses, let me tell you. Y'all, the deducing ain't there, man. Here's another now when it's in a verb. That's an action. And here's the description of what you're doing. The process for caring for and encouraging the growth. And see, you got to get it in your mind, man. Renew your mind. And encouraging the growth or development of someone or something. You see a lot of this in Professor X, in the X-Men, which is why it was so damaging in the last of the old cartoon, which, man, they messed up the animation on that thing. Lord, they messed up the anime. And it was cool it needed to end, because if y'all ain't going to keep the same spirit going, just end it and keep it moving. Just end it. Same thing with Star Wars and stuff, man. If we going to make this thing all weird and stuff, just end it and keep it moving. We don't need 14 different sequels. We don't. We get it. Good triumphs over evil. Balance comes to things, and you keep it moving. We understand. Now they're doing it for money. That's what they're doing it for. And they're using everything possible you could to do it. This is just real talk to my homosexual and transgender brothers and sisters. What they did at the end of Rise of Skywalker was just wrong, y'all. So you're going to use the fact that y'all love each other. Put a scene at the end of the movie where two women are kissing. And all of the 3 movies, you said nothing about what's going on with the lore that is Star Wars. Nothing. We didn't see how powerful Luke Skywalker could be. You had to go back and make, and this is stuff admitted that you can look online. Lucasfilm and Disney had to go back and do The Mandalorian to bring out the things that should have been in those 3 movies, y'all. And every other one of these things that they're doing recon on the stuff they put in those movies. This is my problem with DC comic movies. You got so much content there, but you don't care about Superman and stuff like that. See, that's the point. Y'all rather push Deadpool, and nothing wrong with that. We're talking about the idea and the mind here. But we don't want to see the boy in blue, because we have attached, and some of this is because you can't have a black character. You go back into the 60s and said, that's why I shout out Black Panther. What are we doing? Everything got to be blonde and white skin, man. There's more colors. There are more people than that down here. I understand this is the predisposed one we want to say is ruling the planet, but there's more people than that down here. Hello? And in reality, they're darker than you. That includes when you add in mixed people who are not mulatto, by the way, because they're not mules. That's what mulatto means. They're real people of 2 different cultures. And we got to start that. Never mind. But emotion, right? You can't speak out of emotion. You're not supposed to speak from that which is intuitive on the inside of you. Because I guess that's too feminine too, right? Encouraging the growth and development of someone or something. So this thing goes past just humans, man. This is people too. This is animals too. And you can see how disdain folks have. You think you higher than animals. Until one of them eats your ass, then you ain't worried. Now, then that whole conversation kind of switches. Now you got respect for them. That rhino, you playing around in the African plains and stuff, everybody who goes takes them safaris, and y'all not paying attention, and they go and they gore your ass. Yeah, now you understand. Now we understand. It's the same thing with this whole thing with pit bulls and German shepherds and all that. Y'all need to have more respect for the animal kingdom that you're supposed to dress and keep, by the way. Anyway, that X-Men thing is crazy, man. You know, just watching I'm like 3 episodes in. So for some of y'all gonna shout me out here, just remember, I'm only a couple episodes in. We taking this thing all the way, man. This might go a little past 5 minutes. Yeah, this is gonna, yeah. We'll try to end on 40 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. So I got a few minutes here. Okay. Old thought processes have to be upgraded, man. Every one of them ain't all holy and true. Some of these old thought processes got to get upgraded. You get upgraded in your phone, right? Life's about progression. It ain't only about staying the same. Again, you're receiving, you're a transmitter. That does not mean you know everything right on the dot, man. There's no way. You're giving yourself more credit than you should. Go back and learn. Go back and learn. Go back and learn. And that's to us all. That's to us all, right? As we close here, again, that this whole thing with mutant and human living together, they're just bringing out the idea of people living together, y'all. Can we do that? Can we allow other groups that have been held down in this society to be risen to power? And to my African brothers and sisters, as far as, listen, just because we are not y'all, okay? Where are the places of refuge? Do not act like the oppressor. I was going to get into the rest of Ephesians 6, but again, it's just the 12, verse 12 is necessary because the idea is it's not just against people. The verse literally tells you that you are fighting principalities. Principalities deals with governments made. Princes ruling a thing, governments made. And powers, going back now. Again, I understand we make it spooky with the whole principalities and high places. And hold on a second. Give me 1 minute. Let me just bring it up so I'm quoting it properly for those who got this issue, because they got themselves an issue. To say it in my most southern way possible, pulling on my ancestry that comes from the South here. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, rulers of the darkness of this world. Why did we make that spooky? Why do we make the rulers of the darkness of this world spooky? No, that's telling you the rulers. That's telling you the people ruling that have given their mind and their life and everything over to being dark and ruling over that in this world. That's got nothing to do with the devil per se. Of course, we understand it says against spiritual wickedness in high places. But again, that's not just telling you like, everybody's possessed and they're mummified going around. Now, they're wild possessions, a real thing, y'all. We are not talking about that. We're talking about people who have decided to do wrong toward people on purpose. In the mind, they suck down that mess. That's what you're against. You're not just against people like that, which is why that January 6th mess didn't make no sense. You got to get into the laws. See, what fact and truth deal with is law as well. Laws are supposed to be upgrading society, not downgrading it. When you start seeing control and oppression, that's your indication the thing is wrong, y'all. We can do this thing in responsible, peaceful manner. That's the way God made it. And because we are not, we pay the price for it. That's all. Because we had hate on our Asian brothers and sisters, someone drove someone to go and making that virus. It drove him to go and making that virus. That's not what this is about. I know people don't want to people don't want to believe that. People don't want to believe that your actions cause someone else to do something. See, on this podcast, we're here to let you know what them actions are, what the response may or may not be, because again, you can't really control that part of it, and what you can do as far as your actions to control it. Don't go making fun of people because they emo, because they homosexual, or because they're transgender. They believe in what are we doing? What are we doing? Memorial, just to put some brevity here on this, the Knicks lost. As a Bulls fan, there's a level of happiness there. A Bulls fan, the Bulls team did not make the playoffs. They had to do that play-in mess. Don't know that the NBA is just doing that for purposes of making more money off you, but because your viewership is making them money. Anyway, at the end of the day, there's that part of it, okay? So, Knick fans, my apologies. Okay? Seriously, though, from a serious standpoint, man, when you're rooting for your team and they lose, it's a real thing. To the Rangers, shout out the New York Rangers. Again, your boy over here, pay attention to hockey. I'm done on this trope where black folk can't skate. Because again, black folks were skating. Matter of fact, talking about what preachers should or should not be doing. At least 8 preachers up in Canada made a black hockey league for folks to skate and enjoy. And it's unfortunate nobody bought behind that. And to be truthful, it needs to come back up again. Again, if y'all are so okay with telling black folks to shut up and just play basketball and not be concerned about their communities and such, which affects in sports, I know what y'all are saying, and we want to have it separate and all this garbage at the end of the day. Oh man, at the end of it all, y'all, the two intertwine. They intertwine, and it's okay, and we go on from there. So, Shout out to the New York Rangers doing their thing in the conference finals. Just having a good old time with it. Just having a good old time with it, okay? This is what it is. And this upcoming weekend will be Memorial Day weekend. And we will have a conversation, and then we will go on about enjoying a thing, because again, there is something behind memory and remembering something. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for walking this road with me. Yes, we know that the thing will get emotional from time to time. We know that there is a level of things that must be spoken about from time to time. Okay? But this is where we're at. So, again, thank you for walking this road with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my almost 400 strong, to my day oneers, y'all. Actually, y'all, before we end here, thank you very much. Those who gave me courage to start doing this podcast, saying the things that y'all knew you heard me talking about on my heart. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Again, this thing is not done without y'all. It's not done without a platform. Again, of course, shout out to Spotify for podcasters for putting on this platform. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will talk to you soon. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.